Make some noise, everybody. Make some noise. Welcome, everybody. Nitti Gritti Podcast, episode 12, 11?
Episode 12.
Episode 12.
12.
We are here for the first time. We have an audience with us, and we really appreciate you guys for coming through.
Appreciate y'all, man.
I hope you guys enjoy the show. You know, we got a lot of stories, right? For those of y'all who don't know that's watching on the camera, this is your boy, Mr. Loko,
It's your boy,
a.k.a. You more than likely might have seen me at the arcade making kids mad.
Oh my God.
Hey, it's a true story. I'll be beating
What's that
kids.
one you say about the grocery store?
We're not gonna talk about it.
I want to, you guys, that's your line.
Introduce yourself. How about that?
This the guy you might not have seen at the grocery store. Is what it
This
is.
is a guy that be forgetting that my grandmama watching the show. Alright?
Yeah, it's your boy DJ Cayne, you know, producer, DJ, entrepreneur, Nitti Gritti.
And back by popular demand. You guys asked for him. Some of y'all beat my ass about it.
Yeah.
We got Rob back here. Hold on.
Oh, yeah,
Come on.
we gotta
Let's
do
talk
Rob.
about. Come on. Yeah.
We gotta find a song for that one. It's gotta
We
be
already got a
What's
song.
the song? 2 Chainz?
Watch out.
Yeah, watch out.
That's gonna be the one.
Hey, come on, okay. You know we gotta do it one time for Rob. What's his favorite word? 1, 2, 3. Bitch! True story, y'all. True story. So,
It's a little crazy, man.
let's get into the nitty gritty of the shit, right? For those of y'all who've been paying attention lately, we've been pushing the envelope for topics. So we decided, why not push a little bit more?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's why they call it Nitti Gritti, man. There's no filters on this, man. So you've been warned. I know Grandma's watching,
I was about to say, boy.
but she already know it's no filters on this.
Nah, my grandmama called me about you the other day.
What she say?
You don't
How you
wanna know.
doing? How's
Nah,
DJ Cayne
You ever
doing?
seen a wooden spoon? You ever seen a wooden spoon?
Oh
Don't
yeah.
come to Florida.
Oh shit.
She gonna beat your ass with a wooden spoon.
Hey,
That hurts.
yeah, I
Boy,
remember
for
them
real.
days.
I'll take a switch over with a spoon.
I did
Oh
it.
man.
So,
Y'all ever put that book in the back pocket when they about to whoop you? Y'all ever did that growing up?
do you see who in the
No, no,
audience
no,
right
no.
there? You see who in the audience right there? That shit ain't gonna work with them.
Hey, I already know. Hey, I'm not messing with Florida. Shoot. We gonna keep Florida off limits. Shoot.
Alright, so, tonight's topic. Nitti Gritti has one question
Yeah.
for one of the grandest stages of them all.
America.
Dear America, what's really going on?
What's really going on?
What's really going on? Because
Yeah.
can y'all agree that there's a lot of shit going on?
Yeah.
Exactly. Some good, a lot bad, and a lot more questionable.
Mm.
Right? What? Oh, man, I
It's
like
like
I like
stage light.
Oh, shoot. Alright, it's all good. It's all good. We gonna keep it rolling.
We gonna keep it rolling, man. So yeah, America, what's really going on? So I guess we should say, is America really one of the greatest countries ever? Like, what do y'all think about that? Is it really one of the greatest countries ever?
Rob, give me your take on that one.
Listen. I mean, that's not even a hard question for me. I would say it is. It is one of the greatest countries ever. That doesn't mean that it's far from perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, my story alone says that what America could be. Somebody born south side of Chicago. I always tell people I used to walk to school and I used to count how many liquor stores to get to school and then how many grocery stores. 0 grocery stores, at least 15 liquor stores. So even as a little kid, I knew something was wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
And when you grow up in that type of hood, man, it's the people you look up to is the ones with the nice cars and, you know, clothes, and so you become part of their life. So coming from that to a dropout to having a kid in high school to becoming a millionaire and starting 5 different businesses and 200 employees, yeah, America's great.
Yeah.
But you know, for me, I always think about, you know, Ray Charles. He sung the song America, and you know, I used to always say, you know what, he has this beautiful ideal of America, but Ray Charles couldn't see, but he could see something. You know what I mean? So for me, America can be everything we want it to be, but there's a whole lot of stuff we got to deal with. And the biggest challenge with America is it can never be great until you address some of the stuff we're gonna talk about today. You got to address things head on. You can't recover from alcohol and don't want to acknowledge that you have a problem. So
Yeah.
we got to deal with the problem.
So when you ask if America is great, or one of the greatest out of all the countries, what's your scale? Like top 3 great, top 5 great, top 10 great?
Well, I'm gonna have to agree with Rob, you know, because my parents came from, you know, same situation you came from, and it's like, I think America is the greatest country in fucking universe. Cause it's like, all my friends who are foreign, they literally would kill to come to American soil. You know what I mean? So it's like I think this is the only country where you have like a true chance of opportunity. You know what I mean? It's not even rolling the dice. It's just like, bro, just work hard, learn a skill, a trade, something that's in demand, flip it, you know, and then you can become something. You might not become a millionaire, but you will at least like get by. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's possibility here. It's better than living in Taiwan or like placed in Africa where it's like it's nothing, you know what I mean? So it's like I believe that America is like the greatest country ever, man.
So let me ask you this, because you said that a lot of people would kill to come here.
They would literally kill to come here.
Okay,
For real.
you're not wrong on that.
Yeah.
But how many of those people do you think come here and see it as a falsely advertised country?
Well, it's like I said, it's not gonna be perfect, but I think it's gonna be better than where they came from. You know what I mean?
Because I mean, think about it. You have like a lot of homeless people with amazing skills. You know,
Yeah.
we have a country where you have veterans who fought, risked their lives, came back, PTSD, all that,
Yeah.
and they out on the corner begging for money.
Yeah.
You know,
It would be the
So-
honestly, I think if there were veterans in other countries, it'd be the same thing. You know what I mean? But I feel like, yeah, that's true. I feel like there's always gonna be homeless people no matter what. You're never gonna get rid of homelessness ever. We can minimize it as much as possible, but we're never gonna get rid of it completely. But I feel like I mean we could try, but I feel like when it comes to the veterans, at least we've attempted to implement programs to help them out. And it's unfortunate there's not enough, but we're working on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why Rob said we're working on it. So,
but how long do you think it was going to take till we get it right? Because we've been having veterans for the longest
yeah,
time.
I know. That's a good question.
To me, because like when somebody asks me if America's the greatest, hold on, hey Dom, go let Keith sing.
Shout out Keith.
Shout out to Fresh.
You know. Put that little sign in there.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey,
Cranium, hey.
Keep all that going. Keep all that going. All right.
Y'all make some noise for
tonight.
DJ Cranium, man, one time. You know what I mean?
Shout out to DJ Cranium. So
Yeah.
anyway, so back to back to what we were talking about. If somebody would have asked me that, I think America got a lot to learn, bro.
Yeah. That's true.
So, because I can't say that it's the greatest country when it's a dream that you could live that's not offered to everybody that come here. You know, because I mean, think about it. Look at what Rob has accomplished. All right, I think a lot of people find it to be miraculous because he's black. Personally, Cameron's audience, y'all might get mad at me for this. Personally, if Rob was white and went through that and guys come up like that,
You feel like it's just regular.
it's just normal.
Yeah.
But you got a black man from Southside Chicago, which that's sad that that's the first thing that comes out of your mouth if somebody describes Rob. This is a black man from Southside Chicago
See, I don't-
who worked his way up here.
Maybe I just don't see it like that because I've seen people of all kinds of races that got what Rob got, and when I listen to them talk, it's always dedication, hard work, persistence, finding a want and a need, grabbing onto it, just taking risk and doing it.
No, go ahead.
You know what I mean?
The challenge we have in America, especially in our community, is we still buy into the notion that there's some type of dream. There's no American dream. America's not supposed to give you a dream or hand out some dream to someone. All America can do is create opportunity, and you have to take advantage of it. My story is not that unique. I know lots of black millionaires. The problem with us is we don't come together, network, pool our resources together, and then take it to the masses and show more people how to do it. I have a nonprofit. I train veterans because it is a problem. So what we have to learn how to do more than anything is start doing the research, understanding what the information is, networking. I have a lot of family members who assume that this American dream somehow we wait on the. We think when we say is America good or bad, we make that determination based on what the government can do for us.
Yeah.
And as long as you think the government is going to fix something, America's never going to be good.
Is against.
So you got to figure out what the opportunities are, man, and ask people who do it. Hey, how can I be a part of it? You'll be amazed. Most successful people want to share what they know.
Exactly.
So
it's funny that you said that because I'm not saying that he's wrong. Let me clear that out real quick. I'm not saying you're wrong. I've come across some people who figured it out, but don't want to share that knowledge.
yeah,
Okay, that's
Right.
them.
Yeah,
Find
no,
somebody else.
right. No, I'm not saying you can't find nobody else,
Yeah.
but you get people like that. Do you think that it's selfishness or fear that they withhold that knowledge?
it's both. It's both, and I know people like that. I know idiots, because that's what I call them, who think that I got here on my own. Well, I'm not gonna give a handout to somebody else. So I think it's both. But I at the end of the day, I think you have a responsibility when you know something. And I'm not talking about people who have millions of dollars or who's a successful person. I mean, if you read a book and you learned something, in whatever chapter you read, you should go and share that with people you love and say, hey, learn something new. So sometimes we think it's somebody else's responsibility. I have a lot of friends who used to say back in the day, successful black people, the Michael Jordans, the Oprahs, the Bill Cosby, oh, they sellouts because, they don't give back. First of all, they give millions of dollars. Some people just don't want to advertise what they do. But at the same time, while you have a responsibility to give back to your people, you're not obligated. So, there's a balance there. I think that it's selfish for someone though to be successful and not want to share it. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about information, access, your network, et cetera. I have hundreds of young kids throughout the country who hit me up on LinkedIn. I don't even know them, and they'll say, "Hey, read your story, looked at your profile. Can you mentor me?" And while I don't have the time to mentor everyone, I always say, "Don't have the time to mentor, but if you got any questions, send it to me. Give me about 72 hours. I'll try to respond back to you because of my schedule."
I mean, that's
Much
mad respect. That is mad respect because I mean, I've had a celebrity, Cayne, and we kind of spoke on this in the previous episode. Flew down, met me at Casanova.
Yeah.
We chopped it up for a while, and I mean, even now, like every now and then we'll text. I'll show him my pictures because I don't know if I told you the story, Rob, but he actually hated my work when I first met him. Like he actually said, "Yo, this shit is trash."
I mean, he's a very blunt guy, even though you may disagree with his opinion, but he was clearly off the top.
It was like clearly off the top. I showed
It's his
him.
opinion, though. You know
Right.
what I mean,
But art is very subjective.
Exactly.
Like, for those of y'all who's watching on the audience, been in the art my whole life, and I mean, art, your opinion is very subjective. It's only the higher up you are in relevance is the more your opinion becomes objective.
Yeah.
And so honestly, like in the words of Michael Jordan, like when he told me that shit, I was like, I kind of took it personal. You know what I mean?
I mean,
but I took it personal in a good way though.
Yeah.
Because I didn't take that information and just be like, nah, fuck this, I'm done. I didn't take that and be like, no, yo, fuck him, I ain't gonna never say nothing to him again.
Yeah.
I just did what I do the way I do, and what
What did you do with the information?
What I do?
He told you it was trash. What you do with it?
Like I said, I took it personal, and it made me pissed off. And when I'm pissed off, I'm gonna do more work. So I went out and I did more work. I made sure my work got better. And it's crazy because I have the text message right now.
Yeah.
I sent him a few pictures months ago, and he was like, I don't know what it is, but he's like, damn, like you've gotten way better since we met. Like something about these pictures just stand out to me. So
like when he said it was trash, I know because we're not gonna say his name on here. Shout out to homeboy, but he's a very blunt dude. But did he follow it up with critique? It's trash, but maybe you could just do the angle like this and this and that.
No, he just basically said
it's trash.
He basically said your shit's trash.
Okay. Well.
And it's funny because I stood there with a straight face, and some of the people in the crowd they know me when. Come on, Stripes, you know how I get. You know what I mean? You know how I get. Fresh over there, you know how I get. So when he told me that, I'm just like, look, in my head I'm like, I'm about to shit on this man right now, man. Like, wait till you see what I'm finna do, and I'm gonna make this man acknowledge me. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, but it matters, and one day, and you probably already do. You should appreciate that. Yeah. Listen,
I do.
There is nobody more important in your life than people who are honest with you and haters. I love both.
Yeah.
Because they'll tell you stuff that you need to hear, and they'll also make you do the most important thing, and that is decide if you're going to give them permission to dictate who you are and what you become. So I like it. I tell people FAIL, F-A-I-L, stands for first attempt at learning. And for me, I look forward to failing every day.
Let me tweet that real quick.
So I look forward to failing every day. I mean, you cannot grow if you're not uncomfortable. Man, listen, I never forget the day I went to. It was called Bank One at the time. Now they're Chase Bank. But when I first moved to Dallas, it was Bank One. Had my suit on. I walked in there with this beautiful business plan. Sat down, African American lady, but she was over the loans. Told her this vision I had, and all I needed was $250,000, and dude, I'm talking about laughed in my face like I had slipped and fell or something. Like she laughed like, man, if you don't get the hell out of here, like you have no credit, you never built nothing, you don't have a college degree, you come in here because you got a suit on, boom. I saw that lady 2 years later. I intentionally went back to her, and I said, hey, she's like, I remember you. I was like, yeah, I actually here to see your supervisor. And supervisor came in and I said, I just want to make sure I'm clear about something. How does banks make money? And she's like, what do you mean? I said, how do y'all make money? It's not people coming in and depositing money. Credit. Well, they use that money. You make money by loaning money and then making interest. You take it, so I put $100 in the bank. You give me 0% interest. Yep. You take my $100 and loan it to people for 20%. So I'm asking you for $250,000, and I guarantee you 25% return on your money. So now what you got to do is tell me why I'm not approved. You can't just laugh. You got to tell me why I'm not approved. And then, because I want to go to your vice president and explain to them, I'm trying to make you money. Y'all whole purpose is to find businesses. Their whole demeanor changed. So I had to learn the language of a bank. So when I went back to them, it wasn't about, hey, help me. I came to say, listen, tell me why I should help you make money, because you get judged based on how many loans you give out and what's the percentage. Yeah. So the only way you can tell me no then now is if you think I got a bad business plan and I can't pay it back. But you can't just laugh without doing it. So once you know people's language, you align what you do to what matters most to them. That's the secret. So not only did they give me that $250,000, I've been doing business with them forever. So my point is, I didn't change anything. Only thing I changed was the language I spoke. We don't teach our kids that, man. We don't know about credit. We don't know about good debt versus bad debt. We don't know about assets. And so when we say there is no opportunity and America's not great, yeah, America got a fundamental problem, racism. We can talk about that later. But the reality of it is a lot of the problems that we have in our community, man, is because our kids is not equipped or prepared to speak that language that everybody speaks.
So it's funny that you say that, because last episode we put on the boxing gloves and we took on the board of education. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to call Mama Deuce, because she had a question for us three and she wouldn't tell me what it is. But so we were talking about how school doesn't prepare you for life. You know, personally, I feel like 80% of the shit they teach you in school is worthless. You know, like, because Cayne brought up something, valuable. He said in eighth grade, 7th grade, they made you write cursive because they said all you can do in high school is write cursive.
Yeah, so in middle school, they prepared us for high school. So they're like, okay, so the rudiments and everything are all going to be like in cursive. You have to learn how to write in cursive. I'm left-handed. They even try to make me be right-handed. And they're like, okay, well,
that sounds like somebody in this crowd.
I don't know, but so, because my mom actually taught me how to read and write. So she's left-handed, I learned how to be left-handed. But they told us you're going to do cursive, you're going to do this, and that. We got to high school, everything was digitized. It was nothing it wasn't anything I expected. And when I went to high school, I concur with what you said, like about learning things. I would say a strong part of it of high school, I didn't really learn anything that I feel is viable, but it felt like I was just kind of wasting a lot of time in classes I didn't need. My accounting class, my math class, band, that's how I learned how to break out of my introverted shell and network and perform in front of people. Being a performer, that helped me. And I mean, you laugh, but I say lunch. That helped me like literally network. I started like a business in high school, like selling CDs, opening up a recording studio at my mom's house, and that helped me kind of become a little businessman. So
lunch isn't a subject.
Hey,
lunch is not.
I think lunch is a subject.
It's not a subject.
I'm gonna say it was on the little schedule sheet. It said lunch. We're gonna say that's a subject.
Hold on. Okay. On this note, because my mom had a question for us today.
Hey, hold on. Somebody said what?
You got a point.
Hey, I learned something at lunch.
Okay, look. When was the last time you heard a college say, "Sir, you don't have enough credit hours in lunch. You can't be accepted"?
I'm not being literal. I'm just saying, like, in a sense, it was a subject.
He said it's a free credit. Look. If lunch is a subject, they need to get rid of them dry ass pieces. Hey, mama.
Yeah. Maybe they put some more.
Good. So we here with the Nitti Gritti Podcast. We got the audience. Y'all not gonna be able to see her, but mama, we got the audience going on.
What's happening?
Wait, hold on. All right, mom. I don't think you met Rob yet. This is Rob.
How are you? Nice to meet you.
You as well.
All right, so my mama had a question for us. She wouldn't tell me what it is. So,
Okay.
hey, mama, hide that baby picture of me in the back, please.
I already saw it now. Screenshot.
And even asking the question, have to kind of walk into the question so it can make sense, okay? Because I'll tell you the question is, what is your take on Jonathan Kent and what they're planning on advertising next month? That's the question.
Jonathan Kent.
I'm gonna be.
Great. Now let me walk into it. How about that?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest.
What's going on? Superheroes, one of these iconic superheroes.
Oh, Clark Kent's son.
Oh.
Clark Kent. I got you, mama. It's Clark Kent's son. No, because you're gonna start preaching. All right, so Superman, they made his son bisexual.
His son, Jonathan Kent, is coming out next
Okay, now we
month,
get it.
kissing in the edition of the DC Comics,
Okay.
kissing his friend Jay Kent. With kids now, especially with Halloween, wanting to dress up as superheroes, I have grandsons. You know, how are we approaching this topic of this new superhero as being bisexual?
So you only gonna ask me because you know I'm a nerd. Wow. Okay.
That's a really good question.
So
Go ahead. Yeah, that's a good one.
So I'm gonna be real with you, because my mom asked the question. They made Superman's son bisexual, knowing that the demographic of people who read comics is not all my age. I still read comics. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So, personally, they've been doing it. If you watch any DC rendition of a show on FX. No, CW, those two letters. If you watch any of that, they find a way to put somebody of a different sexual orientation on the show. They did it on Voltron and on Netflix. I was rewatching Voltron. You know, you got the main superhero, this cold-shouldered, I ain't want to talk to nobody dude. Out of nowhere, he got a black man that he marrying. You know, so I mean,
Interesting.
yeah, they've been doing that.
Yeah.
They've been finding a way to do that. Like, they pick somebody and be like, okay, so we're gonna give you this color of the rainbow, you're gonna have this color of the rainbow, and you're gonna have this color.
Well, do you feel like since they're incorporating more LGBTQ 2A plus into the, and I'm not being funny when I say that, that's literally what it is, but do you think them incorporating that in today's time is kind of similar to how they incorporated more African American characters in the media? Like, they brought in more characters of color, now they're bringing in more characters of different sexualities. Do you think it's like a way of moving forward in a positive direction?
Coming out as bisexual.
You said what?
Aquaman, the black Aquaman is coming out as bisexual.
That's, mama, it's
Aqualad,
Aqualad.
okay, yeah.
It's Aqualad.
You'll see.
That's a mama thing to say.
Ignore my mama, y'all. So hold on, they making Aquaman black?
No,
Bro, you know, like, keeping up with the,
Young Justice.
I don't know, mama, because
That's
you never could pronounce Dragon Ball Z correctly back when I was a kid, so I don't.
But I can't pronounce Aquaman.
She said that one correctly.
so
But
that's a good,
to be honest, I think they are trying to find a way to like make it more acceptable. Because like even on a few Nickelodeon shows, they have like one or two shows where like a kid will have two dads, you know. So yeah, Cayne. I mean, to the point you make, like this is just a way of trying to normalize it.
yeah, it's like, it's a very touchy subject because, you know, that's definitely tiptoeing on territory that personally I'm not really familiar with, but I mean, I have a cousin who's transgender and a cousin who's gay, so it's like they're both activists in Dallas, Texas. So it's like I hear what they're talking about, and I see where they're coming from, but it's like as far as it being exposed to the children, society's probably not going to accept that. You know what I mean? Like, a 3-year-old kid seeing like that, like, they probably won't accept that now. But I feel like since
you know they're teaching pronouns in school now, right?
yeah, they're teaching pronouns, his, hers, and them, zero, and all that. That's cool because I feel like in a sense everybody should feel accepted. Black, white, Asian, gay, straight, you should feel accepted. So if that's what they want to do to make people feel accepted, I'm cool. Okay, I'm cool with it. But I don't feel like they should force it as much. And I don't mean to be like, okay, so I'll give one hand. So it's out there, okay, gay characters, but don't like have my son literally taking a test on Z, and all these different like he's literally spending his whole semester trying to learn about this. I'm like, I mean, it's like don't force it, but just say it's out there and it's accepted. If that made any sense, I'm not trying to be like, you know, but we keeping it nitty gritty on here, so.
So yeah.
So what you think, Mom?
That was my question, because it's becoming so normalized, but they're exposing it now to our children through comics and having, you know, the bisexual new Superman kissing his bisexual lover.
It's not Superman.
No, actually, that's what they're changing, because the actual Clark Kent Superman is supposed to go away. Superboy is becoming the Superman, and then
it's called Super Puberty, not Superman.
Oh wow! There's Loko Vision in the building.
Really? That's what we doing, bro? That's what we doing?
I had to get you back one episode. You already know I had to get you back one episode. This dude always be.
All right. Well, Mama, we're gonna get back to the show.
Yes, thank you all for the opportunity.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing.
Give me 1 second now. Hey, Mama, can you holler at your homie, see if he got those pinwheels?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't understand that. Love you.
Mama, can you find those pinwheels? Mama.
My boy Loko over here, man. This is my boy
Mama,
for
hold
real.
on. Okay, that's cool.
So like, you know, Rob, I mean,
Rob, stay quiet for a
Rob,
reason.
stay quiet.
Listen, everything that your mother asked, man, was the same questions they asked when they tried to integrate black people into something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The best way to stay in power is to divide communities.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if you have a faith or religion that causes you to struggle with what your mother asked, I completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
What I try to tell people with that type of faith all the time is, what happens is, what we ask the government to do is what the church should have been doing, and what the church should be doing, the government's trying to do. And the reality of it is if your faith is what caused you to struggle with this whole topic, then what you're supposed to do is model what Christ looks like to people.
Amen.
And leave it at that. But what I will not do is bash anybody because of their sexual orientation, etc. No more than people called and wanted to find out, oh, did you hear black people's going to the good colleges now? Oh, did you hear they trying to let the Negro into the Baseball Hall of Fame? All of that stuff is to divide people. So what I hope happens is you have a right to your personal beliefs and feelings about the subject. I have friends and family who are who's in that community as well. And you know what? I don't understand it, but what I do is love them. And the reality of it is, if you don't put Superboy, Superman, or whoever on, I promise you, people still gonna be gay. So you're not exposing people to anything that's not already out there. What they're trying to do is, if I took the old Kodak camera and took the picture and handed that picture to you guys in this audience, the very first thing you will look for, or person you'll look for, is yourself. And the reality of it, these kids is harming themselves because they don't see themselves in the picture. So listen, I do think there's an art and science of how you expose people. You know, you shouldn't have that on regular public channels, but if you got it on FX, etc., then you know what, you don't want your kids to watch that, block the channel. But my whole thing is, whether you for it or not against it, everybody has the right to dignity and respect that should be served. That's just my take on it.
Yeah,
I mean, I agree. I agree like 100%.
Because I feel if we do that, that's how we're gonna move forward as a society. You know what I mean? It's just, it has to happen regardless. It's inevitable that that's gonna be exposed.
Cayne made a very good point though. Like, it's not something that should be forced, because like black people didn't force America to accept us.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we did.
That's exactly what we did.
That's
Frederick,
exactly
I'm
what we did.
Frederick Douglass said the only way you're gonna be successful is to become an agitator. The whole point of the civil rights movement was to agitate.
Okay.
The reason why those kids left high school and college and got arrested, knowing they was gonna get arrested and beat up and bitten by dogs, is because we had to force our way into it.
I
And
wouldn't use,
that's
I
just what
wouldn't
we
use,
do.
like, you're not wrong, but I wasn't gonna use the word force, but okay, I
Oh,
see where
it's
you're coming
force.
from. I see where you're coming from.
It's force.
I see where you're coming from, and you know, you got my dad co-sign, so I'm not gonna say too much more of it, cause you're gonna get on my ass. But,
Yeah.
but no, alright, so,
Yeah.
let's get to the next, cause a lot of these topics that we're gonna touch
Yeah.
on, we could do a whole episode about. So let me ask you this.
I was going to say, like, for us, like, with the education, Little Rock 9 and Oliver Brown, you know what I'm saying, the Brown versus Board education, yeah, that was definitely forced, and it was because, we're being mistreated, so we had to make some shape.
And then you have to bring the National Guards to let babies go to class.
That's right.
Yeah.
This is how violent and wicked and sick people can become. And really quick, just on a previous question about education system, when you look at the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the rich families, the Fords who
Vanderbilts,
ran America,
Trump.
they
The-
revolutionized education. And they say it. The whole point of education is to create a mass of workers. So you're right. It's not to teach you about life. It's to teach you how to work for them one day. You get out of school. My son would say, well, how come I need to know geometry? Because they plan on you cutting wood and building a house. That's why. So every topic in school, I can show you how it maps back to an industrial career.
So, cause I really wanna touch on that, remember I brought a finance part,
Yeah, you had a program at your high school where they
middle school.
but that's even better, where they had a program where they gave you a scenario of what it was like to be in the workforce.
So basically what they did was, we had like, I don't know, mom and dad, I don't know if y'all remember this, at Safety Harbor, I had to do finance park, so they gave us a
Finance
jar,
park.
we chose a career at random, and we basically had to pick an apartment, a car, and show our way of living based on the income they gave us, and as I became an adult, I was like, yo, shit like that need to be mandatory, cause it's sad, when I think about everything that I've been in high school, I'm a numbers guy, I was always into math, I hated English, I hated reading, science, cool, depending on what National Geographic video they're showing us, history, but it's just like, I look at all the stuff that I had to take, and I'm just like, for what? You know what I mean?
I mean, you dead right about it. Listen, we don't teach anything that's going to empower our kids to be independent or to be the lenders instead of the lendees. We not taught to be owners. We are taught to be borrowers. And that would have taught you how to be an owner. And that is my point. My oldest son and me had a big falling out because he graduated high school. I paid for private tutors for SAT along with his mom, all of these things, and he said, I'm not going to college. And I was like, yo, you going to college. Guess what? That was 6 years ago. He never went to college, but he owns a real estate investing company, wholesale company, and he's doing really, really well. And he has employees, and he's 20
years old.
He was 22 when he started, 24 now.
Boy,
So my point is, because he's like, Dad, I watched you become an entrepreneur. Why am I going to college when all they're doing is getting degrees to hire me to run their company? I don't need a degree, and I'm not knocking college, but what he had me realize was, like you said, the stuff that matters, man, is how do I take this and multiply it? And that's biblical. If you look at the talents, Christ said the one that I gave stuff to and he didn't do nothing with it, I took it from him and gave it to the guy who flipped my resources.
Yeah.
So this is biblical, bro. We got to teach our kids, our community, how to take what they have and flip it. And don't get fooled, man. Entrepreneurship from black people has existed from the first day of this earth.
Right.
True.
So it's not that we don't learn it. What they've taught us how to do is unlearn
Yeah.
what we innately know how to do. I have never seen as many brilliant entrepreneurial talent people as I do when I go to any hood.
I always
These
say,
people
like,
got
Jordan-
skills, man. They just need to know how to communicate it and have access. That's
Yeah.
really what's lacking.
I always say, like, the dope dealer could be an accountant, that's all,
Well, I mean,
Absolutely.
there's those, but it's like I feel like what you said is totally true. Like Black Wall Street,
Yeah, exactly.
cobblers making shoes, people on laundromats, all black people. It's like they made it happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, black entrepreneurship has been around for a while.
I
But
mean,
So,
look at Jay and Kanye, man. Listen,
oh, bro, yeah,
you take the same hustling mentality and you bring it to the business world, And you have to create a situation where you're not asking them.
Yeah.
But when they see how they can make money off you, and believe me, they only gonna do it if they can make money off of you.
Yeah.
But don't
I think
sweat
that's
that.
fair.
Let's make money.
We help each other.
Absolutely.
You make money, you know. I
You
give
don't need
20,
you don't need a big
give me-
piece of pie. You need small pieces of a lot of pies.
Yeah. Shouts
So-
out Shark Tank, because I mean, people think they're scamming people. That's business.
That's business.
They need 10%. Hey, I'm helping you. I'm putting you on. I need some of my cut. But real quick before I get in that, college. Do you think it's okay to have a plan B? Because I feel like when I hear like folks like Jay-Z and Charlamagne the God, one of my favorite radio hosts, they always say just go for it, no plan B. So college, do you think a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs look at college as like a plan B? You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
think you need that as a plan B, to be honest.
Yeah.
You need a plan B.
But do you really?
Yeah,
Because
you really do, because honestly, school ain't for everybody. Like, I was good at school. I hated it.
okay.
Like, to be honest, I really didn't try. Like, I could have did a lot better than I did, but I didn't try. I hated it.
Mhm.
And I say you need a plan B because it's proof. You don't need college.
Yeah.
You really don't.
But
So
I feel like as a DJ, if I had started DJing when I was 13 and just not stopped, just straight music, I would have been huge right now. If I didn't go to college because that's all I've been doing for the rest of my life.
And I'm gonna tell you what you need a plan B. So like, let's say you take either route, right? You want to be entrepreneur or just go straight into the work world, or you go to school, right? In the work world, you can only get so high in certain jobs before they say, all right, where your degree at? You got the qualification work-wise, but where your degree at to give you the other accolade you need to become in this position, right? So then,
Sorry, that's mama. Keep going.
how you gonna hang up on Mama Dukes?
How you gonna call? Well,
We talked about this before the episode.
hey,
Hey, call your mama back.
my mama don't have FaceTime, so she got. Hey, my mama's still on the flip phone, y'all. So. And I bought it for $59.99. That Nokia. It's still
DJ
working.
Cayne, everybody. DJ Cayne, everybody.
But see, I actually just wholeheartedly disagree that if you really have it, like LeBron James, that's not a backup. If you got it, go for it.
So
But think about
You know what I mean?
I actually think that, with all due respect, it's an irrelevant question. It's not should you have a plan A or a plan B. What you should have is a strategy.
Right.
And a strategy means that you might have more than one direction that you think about. To your point, what you're really trying to say is some people, because they have multiple strategies or multiple pathways in a strategy, they may not focus solely on one because they use the other ones as a crutch.
Exactly.
Well, if this gets hard, I'll
Yeah.
just do this and this. But planning something out, to Loko's point, is important. You gotta see the big picture and say, if it's not this. For example, as you guys know, I wanted to do hip hop. Guess what? Hip hop, that's a political game. You gotta have connections.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to own apartment buildings. Guess what? You don't have no money or credit. Okay, well maybe if I just start with houses. Guess what? You don't have no money or credit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what did I do? I went and got into IT. I got the certifications and started making six figures without a college degree. But I knew when I did that was plan A for me. But the strategy was to use technology to have enough money to then buy a small house and then rent that out to buy bigger houses and then apartments and then do all the stuff I want to do, start a label,
Right.
buy restaurants, etc. So the strategy was whatever I did, I wanted to work for me. And I was going to learn from people. I don't mind working from you if I'm learning from you. But the whole goal was to learn the game, use my resources, and then invest it. And not sweat small beginners or despise small beginners. So the question is not should you have an A or B or not a plan, is do you have a strategy, a vision?
Yeah.
And then do you surround yourself with the right people? And equally important, do you get rid of people who you are surrounding yourself with, who's going to hold you back from doing it?
Oh, that's a big one. We all need to weed them out.
So real quick, before we get on to our next topic, we got the crowd here. Is there any questions that you guys want to ask the stage?
I got a question.
No. All right, joking. Go ahead. King Strikes, everybody.
Yeah. So I was hearing you speak, and you was talking about pretty much. Y'all all were talking about how the education system is teaching us how to become workers or mass workers, and so and they've been doing it for a long time. So my mom and my dad, they've been through that same education system, and they were fed the same bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So. Yes, my question is, how would we, us now, we're adults, we have children of our own, and we went through that education system, how would we flip that mentality to, you know what I'm saying, what's the first step that we take to kind of learn what we need to learn so that we can teach it to our children so they can be successful in life?
So one thing I did with that, because I have a 6-year-old. Do I push school? Yeah. But I also teach them life stuff. You know, I mean, you've seen the videos yourself.
Yeah.
Teaching them how to cook just in case. You know, when it comes to like putting like little stuff together. You know, because little stuff like that, you'll be surprised. Like with me, I became a very hands-on person starting out by fixing bikes.
Yeah.
You know, I just would be able to like see something and just see how it's supposed to look and be able to fix it. But I think you need to have a balance of teaching them what they should know and what they are required to know. You know, because you know what your child's going to go through,
Right.
and it's your job as a parent to make sure that go get your education. But while you're getting your education, I need you to understand that eventually you're going to have to deal with this in life. And so it's our job as parents to make sure that our kids don't go through the same BS that we went through. You know, we gotta put them in a position to know how to get through it if in case it happens. Because I mean, let's be real. We don't have our struggles, right? We done been through some shit, but we know how to get out of it. And it's our job as parents to make sure that our kids are in that same position.
You know what I'm saying? I know we've been through things, but like you said, like it's certain things that we were taught and it's embedded in us because we were taught at a young age and it's become habit now. You know, it's like, it's not necessary. It's kind of like second nature, you know, to revert to do certain things, this behavior, you know, it's like a pattern. And your children can pick up on that same pattern because you're doing it and they're witnessing you do it. And they're also learning it in the same education system that you went through.
Yeah.
So how do you flip their mentality?
It is a really profound question, and a simple question, but very profound. If you look at the universe, I'm a nerd too, so I study the universe. It is growing exponentially. Galaxies is going further away because it's just ever expanding. And what we like to call that is the macrocosm, right? And then we look at something specific, like us, we call it the microcosm, right? And here's the thing, the macro is a representation of the micro because the universe is ever expanding. When we're born into this world, we have one purpose, and that's never to die. Anything that is born in economics and finances and growth is all living entities. So much so that the Supreme Court allows businesses to now give as much money as they want because they said it's a living organism. And it's true, because what happens is anything that is alive, purpose is never to die. And we do that by multiple things. We reproduce, we have children, grows our thing, so no matter what happens to us, we live forever. We do the same thing with our money. Like you just said, kids natively know how to grow stuff. They play, they build because they want to grow stuff. That's the natural instinct of every human being. What we do, because of this education that you talk about, is we hinder them. My parents, God bless them, used to always say, get your head out the cloud when I would think big. That, no, you need to focus on this, get your head out the cloud. That's the opposite of what we should have been doing to our kids. But they mean well. They do it because they're afraid of the world. They knew what the world was. It was difficult in their generation. So they just want to prepare us to get the skills. Just be good. Don't go to jail. Don't let nobody kill you. And that's a good life. So if you think beyond that, and you're talking about owning and building and being a millionaire and all those things, okay, you're doing too much. That's what a challenge is in our community because white people have so much power, access, and a higher net worth than us. Look at how the kids play. The stuff that those kids do, the creativity, they could just explore. Johnny just explores because they don't worry about the day-to-day necessity stuff that we worry about or what we're scared to allow our kids to do, going out in the streets because of the communities that we live in. So what I would say to you is don't get in the way of what they naturally know how to do. And to Loko's point, you got to learn how to read. Listen, I would have took school more serious now that I know what I know. I just wish somebody would have told me, no, Robert, the reason why you need to know how to read and do your basic math and understand these things is not because it's bad or you're going to work for someone. It's because one day you're going to build something and you got to have the skills to understand how to articulate your vision and not rely on other people. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You got any other questions,
Yeah.
Father?
I just want to add to what everybody's saying. You guys are all on point, first of all, but one of the things we have to do is we have to minimize or really execute the division. We spoke on that earlier, with the call. I feel feel like, you know, it's an important question. However, it's also a plot to create more division amongst us. You know, really, who Superboy or whoever is kissing should really be irrelevant in society. You know, we have to learn to unify, because what's the next thing is saying, okay, don't be around that person. You know, don't talk to him because I don't like the way he wears his pants, or don't talk to her because she's doing this here. You know, when those people may in fact be the people you need to be around to build what you're trying to build. You know, another thing is, you know, we can't allow the schools to raise our children. You know, you and I were talking earlier about, you know, how I push you in when anything you get involved with, I push you ever. It's because I want to motivate you and encourage you. I want to be your biggest cheerleader, you know, in everything that you endeavor, you know, anything you get involved in, you know, and as parents, that's our responsibility, that's our duty, you know, to be that force behind you to say, hey, you can do it, you know, I believe in you. It's to help you believe in yourself. So until we start doing that, and don't worry about, you know, whether school is relevant or irrelevant, you know, it's the job we do, not only as parents, but as a community. That makes the biggest deal, you know, because you mentioned something about, you know, the white people have it figured out, you know, they have all the resources and everything. We have resources as well too. We're just not accustomed to using them, you know, because we've been taught to just minimize and limit ourselves. You know, we have a lot of resources, and once we get out of the division, we can see that, and we can raise our children up the way they can go and be the successful businessmen and businesswomen that, you know, they can possibly be.
I definitely agree with that. It's just being around each other more and using those resources is what we need to do. So, do you want to go on the next point? So it's like, you talked about the communities, you know, it starts with the community, starts with the family, but in the communities, it's a lot of brutality going on. It's a lot of injustice in our communities. So let's talk about police brutality and social injustice in America.
How you know it's gonna get on that topic?
Because I got the notes, man.
I know, but we got a lot of notes. How you know it's gonna get on that?
Because we be the telepathy. So, what are y'all's thoughts on social injustice? Because there's resources out there, but it seems like there's things preventing us, like things harming our
I'm
community.
gonna be real. When it comes to social injustice, and I'm gonna dig into a little bit of my life personally. I had the chance to wear a badge. I had the opportunity to wear a badge.
Okay, Officer Loko. On duty.
Stop with that damn button.
You want to ask for it.
I know I asked for it, but I didn't.
So, were you a rent-a-cop or? Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
Mall cop. Can everybody turn their head that way for a quick second? No, yeah, I had the chance to pursue putting on the badge. And initially it was a dream of mine because I wanted to follow in my parents' footsteps.
Respect.
You know, I'm glad I didn't. I'm really, really glad I didn't, because you look at social injustice, right? Now me, I'm not, I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people may accuse me of being an asshole. Shut up. But
Come to Casanova, you'll see. We talked about the audience.
What Cayne
but-
said.
hell, man, like anybody else want to turn against me? Shut up, Keith. Put your hand down. So, but honestly, cause like I look at how my parents were, and the people that they impacted in a positive way, and I feel like had I put on the badge when I had the chance to, me trying to do that would have just put a target on my back. You know,
Target in the back by who?
the public, because around this time was when Trayvon Martin died, and so
That's interesting you said that. Yeah.
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 like I turned it down, and so
You said target on your back from.
I would have been a cop in Florida, and you know how ignorant they get.
That's an interesting. Okay. But you said target on your back. You mean like you being a black cop? doing your job, who's targeting you?
Black citizens. If you look at some of these riots, a lot of these black people are getting mad at black cops because they feel like they see officer such and such, a black man in a uniform, and then all of a sudden you got the public putting that responsibility on him to make a difference. Have you ever noticed that?
Every black cop I met has saved my life. I don't know.
I'm not saying they wouldn't.
I don't know,
That,
man.
that's not you know.
That's
Okay.
it's an interesting one. It's
It's
an
so
interesting
this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to be part of the problem. Let me just put it like that. I don't want to be part of that problem. And so, because I've had my fair share of being fucked with by cops, and I've had my fair shares of dodged bullets. You know, and I'll tell you, one story. And my dad, he had to be blunt and just be real. It was my first time seeing snow out here. Living in Plano, I'm from Florida. We think snow was a myth. So the only thing I had was black sweatpants and a black hoodie. And y'all laughing. I got stopped by like 6 cops. And
Walking?
I was walking. Like, let me put it like this. Like, if I'm right here, I can see the house, like right there. One cop pulled me over. Next thing you know, 5 more cars show up, and I'm like, damn, I ain't that big, But my dad had to keep it a stack with me. It was just like, son, you a big black man walking in Plano in the snow, and so it's to me. I feel like if I would have put on that badge, I would have been a part of the problem. I would have been blamed for some of the other dumb shit other cops have done.
Yeah, I see what you mean, man. And first off, I want to say I'm sorry you went through that, man. And anybody that went through that, me myself, like it's like we're talking about the black cops. I personally think we need a lot more black cops. Like I think we need way more black cops. So I don't know. You felt like you have a target with the whole Trayvon Martin thing going on. That was hot at the time.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree.
So,
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with you.
That we should have more black cops.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree. A little inside information. They make you shut the fuck up.
Okay.
They have a way of putting your job on the line and blackballing you. They make you stay quiet. It's your choice what you want to do with that information, but you got a lot of people who will put their livelihoods on the line, just like, all right, you can either speak out on this or you can lose your job and never be.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you this from experience.
So if you have a community full of mostly black children and it's nothing but white cops, do you really think they're gonna relate to those kids? Or if they have more black cops,
I would honestly say a small percentage actually gives a damn about those kids. And
the black cops.
You said a white cops.
No, what I'm saying is like if you have a community like let's say like
black
the
kids.
Bronx or something, it's all black kids. It's nothing but white cops. Do you really think they feel that my people's looking like at least the safety is in the hands of my people? But if you have mostly black cops, do you think they'll feel just a little bit more comfortable?
Yeah, will they feel more comfortable? Yes, but honestly,
that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is, even if it's a whole bunch of white cops in a black area, it is unfair to assume that all of them don't give a damn. Like, I'm gonna just be real with you.
I don't know, Rob. I see one to chime in.
I'm gonna be real, cause I have my opinion on cops, but I'm not gonna sit here and say that every cop put on a badge hoping to shoot a black man right now.
Yeah.
And so
I respect both sides because it's a tricky situation. I just one of my favorite quotes is courage is the strength to do what is right regardless of the consequences. If we have a problem with senators passing bills that reflect what we need in our community, you know how you fix that? We need to become senators. And if we have a problem with polices doing what they do in our community, you know how we fix that? We need to be better represented by police. Now, I think you have the right to say, I didn't want to do it because what you're really saying is I don't want to deal with the backlash. And that's fine. That's a personal decision. But the truth of the matter is we need more black people, especially black men, who is willing to put themselves in that position and start changing things. Everybody who's the first to get in always have to go through the most stuff to open up the door so that later people come along. Because the truth is America's number one thing that America did to create racism, to do red line, everything else is they use police. Police has always been a weapon and a tool of racism in order to keep black people, brown people, indigenous people in line. And the only way we can overcome that is there's no way we're going to ever come there by saying, you know what, police is bad, but black people shouldn't be the police. What we should do is hopefully get just good white people in there. There's a lot of good white people. I got white police friends, and I got black police friends, and they care about the communities. And the truth of the matter is, it's a small percentage of police who make it mess it up for them. My point to them is, when you see the small percentages who do it wrong, y'all have a responsibility to check them.
Get on it.
And anywhere I come from, and just maybe that's the street side of me. If I'm in a gang, I don't care what I'm dealing with. If my people is out of line and they doing something wrong, the police don't have to come and check our people. We handle that ourselves.
Yeah.
So if it's a fraternity, paternity, etc., you need to handle that yourself. But listen, I think more black men need to be part of the police thing. That doesn't mean you're not going to be subjected to white racism yourself, etc. But if enough of us do it, I used to love the movie Ants. Because if enough ants get together, you can't just come in as a locust and then just bully them.
Man.
You know, it's funny that you bring up that movie. Do you remember A Bug's Life?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, like, I don't know if you guys have ever watched A Bug's Life. There was one scene in there, shit got deep, because it was like crickets versus bugs.
Yep.
And the crickets were stealing the bugs' food, you know, but...
Making them work for it.
Right. So one of the crickets made a point. He took a piece of food and threw it at that guy. He said, "Does that hurt?" He's like, "No." And so he said, "Okay, cool." Took another one, threw it. He's like, "Did that hurt?" And so they're laughing about it. And so then he breaks the container of the food, and all of it falls on him. And he says, "Now you see, if one little ant comes up, was that ants or bugs like that did that? Help me out, Don."
Man, I can't remember.
One of the movies.
One of the movies.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though.
I think it was a
What was it first? Was that A Bug's Life or Ants?
That was Bugs Life.
Yeah.
That was Bug's Life? All right, bet
I know
that.
ants very well. Buzz
So-
Life.
So he basically said, you let one little bug hurt you, like it's not gonna hurt, but they all come together.
Yeah.
Exactly my point.
Exactly.
You get more
Exactly
of us
my
in
point.
there. It's like you said, oh, they're gonna make you shut up. If it's like 20 white, if it ends up being 100 cops that are available on the force, and it's 80 and 20 black cops, if it ends up flipping to be 80 black cops, 20 white cops, who are they gonna shut up?
It's never gonna get to that point.
How do you know?
How do I know?
Bro,
Let's,
It needs
okay,
to. It may not be a
it may
majority
need
like
to,
that,
it may
but
need to,
it needs
but
to be
it is
more
not,
of them
it-
in there. Though.
Bro, let's be real. Let's just be honest here, right? We nitty gritty, right? This may be the second time we ever disagree on the show. So they gonna try, like, unless we just kick down the damn door
Bro,
and
what do we say about black people being assertive to get our rights? We gonna walk in, we gonna be assertive to get them
I
rights.
just would never use the word never with black people, man.
Yeah.
okay, let's like it then. I'll have to say that like
Not
that.
even
Let's
that.
Like it. Yeah, let's like it.
You tell my grandma before she passed away, she was gonna have a black president. She would have said you crazy. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff. I mean, you told my third grade teacher that forget me being a millionaire or successful, that I was gonna even be alive by 25. She would have told you she was crazy. I mean, listen, we came through the middle passage where everything we did is impossible. Getting 20% of the police force is not impossible for us, and I think it will happen.
Over, like getting all of it.
No, but I think it will happen, and I think that more of it has to happen. And because the truth of the matter is, even if it's 80% of them, if it's 20% of us black police in those neighborhoods, I guarantee you those white police is not finna drive no black neighborhoods with those 20%.
Facts.
So that's what we have to do. We have to be represented. It's the same argument I have with the Republican Party. My father hates everything about being a Republican, and my whole thing to him is, so I was raised Democrat. I don't know no other way, but now I'm independent. But my point is, he don't think no black person should be a Republican, and he's ashamed of you if you are. But how do you represent yourself if you're not a part of the party? When would they ever represent you if there's no voices?
Yeah.
I wish we had more Republican black people and Democratic. So regardless of who in power, we represent it.
Yeah.
But if we don't have no representation on, then there's no way we can change anything.
Yeah. That's how we take over, man. It's just getting in there. You know what I mean? Like a small example, when I played tennis in high school, they always say, "Oh, there's no black people on the tennis team because y'all not enrolling." How about let's join it? Y'all got time y'all can do football and tennis. You know what I'm saying? So I got on there, I was like, okay, it's because we're not getting in there. And it just takes the initiative to
So
start.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I've been in a situation where I've been the only black person. See neighborhood, school bus.
That's good. You're the first one to throw the crumb. Bugs Life reference. I'm just saying.
DJ, give him one of those, DJ.
No,
Yeah.
no, because I mean,
DJ Cayne, yeah.
I mean, like, no, all jokes aside. Brandon, we gonna talk at this show, alright?
Yeah.
So no, because I mean, I had my issues with that. You know, I was looked at as like, oh my gosh, he's that crazy ass black dude. Shut up, Dom. But I know you're thinking it, bro. I beat you to it. I've known you for too long, bro. But let me ask you this. I wonder how this question gonna come out. What do you think it would take from like the citizens of America to just coexist?
To coexist.
Think about it.
You know, I spoke at a conference a week ago, and it was funny. Cayne was sharing with me some questions, and someone asked me, "Is there a better model of a country than America that we need to strive for?" And I used the reference of Sweden because they have the highest equality rate amongst men and women. There's no difference between education or economics, and education's free. They're ranked in the top 10, way beyond us as far as education, healthcare. So it's a great company model. But the one caution that I have about when we talk about getting a loan is that's because they're all white. So what that tells me is if you all look the same, regardless of what your gender are, they can come together.
Yeah.
But race is the one thing that always become even more of a complex factor, because you have to understand. You mentioned Black Wall Street. The whole reason why that whole Greenwood thing burned down, black people built that. They was making good money, livings, doctors, lawyers, and providing for themselves. There was no risk to anybody else. White people saw that as a threat to them. And how is it that you're more educated than me and you black?
Yeah.
So the reason why we have the problem is because they don't see you as ever being equal to them.
Exactly.
So it's the reason why we don't want to let certain people in the country. Other people can come to the country if they want to based on the color of their skin.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, how do we get equality? We'll find that when we deal again with the fundamental sin that we built this country on, which is racism. And again, that's not going to change until we have representation. That's why when everybody celebrated Barack Obama, which I did as well, I recognized that wasn't going to be that much of no change. They made everything he did even tougher than any other president. I seen Barack Obama literally agree with Republicans, and because he agreed with them, they said, "Now we don't want to do it because he's agreeing." So it wasn't even about him following them or them following them. It was just to make sure that no matter what he did, he couldn't be successful. That's the fundamental problem we have.
I think that
I agree. His hair grayed in the first 2 years. I was like, damn, man, you're putting this
So-
boy under all that stress, man.
So one thing I think that needs to happen is that we as citizens of this country, excuse my language, y'all, but we need to shut the fuck up and learn how to listen to the next person and learn from the next person. You know, a few years ago, one of my friends, actually I think you remember him from Gym Pack, Ali. He was one of the trainers. Yeah. So Muslim guy, Middle Eastern dude. We used to meet up back before Abby's was Abby's. We used to meet up there, like right after work, and we would always talk about culture differences. Not to like compare, like not to say one's better than the other. You know, not to say like this is how you should live and this is how you shouldn't live, but it was just like to learn from each other. I learned, a lot from it, and I really feel like if Americans got to that point of being able to like open up and like listen and learn, you'll be surprised what can happen.
Yeah.
See that man right there with the black shirt with the nice glasses on? Yeah, I'm talking about you, Derek. I'm talking about you, Derek.
Shout out Derek.
Shout out to Derek, because I'm stepping on this mic like crazy, yo. That is gonna is that gonna mess up the audio on the show?
It's all good.
You sure?
Yeah.
I ain't messing up.
Yeah.
You gonna wait an hour after the show started?
really.
I recently just started stepping on this. Bro, I got big feet, man.
Yeah.
Look. Yeah, I'm gonna just say like this, but
Go
no,
ahead to your point.
but no, like, talking with Derek in the time that I've met him, I've learned so much just by shutting the fuck up and just listening and learning.
That's what we gotta do.
And I will tell you that's the number one reason I have some success. Listen, if you want to be the smartest person in the room, you're not gonna be successful. I am around people who I marvel at their brilliance and their genius, and I love to just listen to them talk and listen to how they would do something better or different. I never forget, everybody was trying to debate this guy about cryptocurrency back in the day. I just was quiet. I was just listening, and he said, "Okay, I'm telling y'all right now, one day cryptocurrency gonna be about $100,000 per coin." Listen,
Boy.
I don't know what else people just. I don't get what else you need to hear.
Yeah.
So you telling me right now I can buy this for $1,000 and in the next 10, 15 years it's gonna be worth $100,000?
Mm-hmm.
So listen, it's at 57,000 now. I bought 100 at 1,000.
You talking about Bitcoin?
Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So that's my point. Just be quiet. Stop thinking you know everything. Listen to people. Especially, you're debating somebody who's already rich and successful.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I don't think that's the way it's gonna go. But he's already rich and successful. So my whole thing is I'm an executive coach. You pay me, and then you want to debate me on my advice when you pay me to give you my advice. Because people, everybody has their point. So to your point, I just think you need to listen, take it in, and then you have to realize how to make it your own, though.
Yeah.
So what worked for Derek may not work for you, but if you take the wisdom from Derek and then apply it to what you're good at, you're an artist, and I've seen your pictures. I mean, and I would say every time I see it, it gets better and better. I don't have that gift, but if you take what I'm giving you, but you apply it to the art and the science and the things you do, it's gonna be uniquely yours.
Yeah.
But that starts by being humble. That's humility.
I feel like that's tough. Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
Like, I'll be honest, when you talk about like being humble, you know, I think I told you this before, and Derek, I know I told you this before. Seeing who you guys are and everything, like 5 years ago, I would have been afraid to sit with you.
Yeah, see,
Like-
that's what we gotta change. It's
No,
like-
I'm
Still
being
should
like,
be when you see this invoice.
I'm being.
that cranium. Hey.
Okay, you ain't tell them what the bill was?
But no, I'm being
Yeah.
for real, and that was just like a stubborn mindset that I had, because I mean, I would have felt like, shit, I have no business sitting with this man, because, like, you know, I'll be seeing the tab sometime, I'll be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but it's like you're inviting, and the fact that when we do sit with you and you're extremely generous. But I feel like when I'm around somebody like you, I feel like I gotta ask you some questions.
I
Like,
got
I'm an
to.
IT consultant
I will say,
also,
you guys
and-
do that.
Yeah.
You guys do that.
And you've mentored me on a lot of stuff, bro. And like you said, I've already started the Revenue Reindeer, and it's like, it's just, bro, I'll be like, bro, I just like being around people like you, because I feel like it's just like I'm gonna use a weird analogy. I'm not gonna use that analogy. But I'm just trying
No,
to
do
say.
it. No, too late. Come
Okay.
on.
Well, I'm
Nitty
feeling
gritty.
I feel like it's like I found a temporary oasis for that night. Like for those 2 hours you're there, I'm just gonna dig in and get my water out real quick. You know what I'm saying? So
But I see you apply it though.
And I
the
apply
same
it.
with Loko, man. You guys, to your credit,
yeah,
because the thing is, man, all I can do is give you information. It's what you do with it, man.
that's all I need.
That's really what matters. Our kids don't lack, again, brilliance and talent. Sometimes they lack access, and then they lack the discipline and as Pop said, the ability to execute on the information that they have.
Right.
And so you guys are coachable. I can't tell you how many family members I have tried to help. Like, hey, help me pay my light bill. And I tell you what, why don't you come stay with me? Let me school you on some things, and you can go back and pay your own light bill forever.
Yeah.
They don't, no, just give me $20. I'm good, man.
Let me teach you how to fish.
Yeah,
real
I
quick.
can't work with people like that.
It's like do you think it's like an ego thing, or it's like uncomfortable? They're just scared of being different. Like if I told you you could be rich by just living out in the forest for 2 weeks with no internet. No, I don't need that. You know what I mean? It's like people aren't willing to take that chance, and I think it's just fear, you know?
Personally, I think that when people have an idea of what they want to do to be rich, I don't think they're ready to hear that idea is not going to work.
Yeah.
Or that it just takes work, bro.
Right.
Listen,
Because I mean, like,
you guys inspired me of getting in shape, like you really do. Every time I see y'all, I realize.
Why the hell y'all reading my mind? What the?
Because you're brilliant, man. I mean, it's just.
It's the telepathy going
No,
on.
you guys inspired me on that. I started getting up and starting to work out, man. But listen, I'll tell you why I don't look like y'all. It's because it's sore. It's soreness, man. Listen,
Yeah.
it's work. I'm like, listen, man, it's too much work, man. It's like, listen, it's sweating. You got to sacrifice. You telling me I can't get this chicken.
No, I mean, 'cause, like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like,
Put that honey on my pizza.
Yeah, so you got to be willing to count the cost, bro, for what you
first
want.
off, all right.
Hey, we gonna try it one day, I swear.
I'm not
I
gonna.
tried the donut.
Is that why
hamburger.
you won't come to me, Zio? Because I've been asking you for like a
You know
year.
what you have, man. And I didn't know about the honey. Now it's gonna be another $1 million, though, man.
Rob, everybody. Yeah. Give it up for Rob. Hold on. We never got a question.
So it's more of a statement, and this is kind of we kind of passed by the conversation, but I'm trying to grab it as it's moving along. But I think one of the biggest things that we also lack as a people, learning from other different races, is when we hit 18, we're the only race that you get the boot and you're going. And as I'm learning and growing up myself, that's one of the phases where you need to be cultivated the most. Is you need to be able to learn, be able to pull in, finding yourself. Instead of finding yourself on the street, you find yourself at home. And you build a safe place so that when my dad always told me, let me prepare you, you stay in the list as long as you want. So when you get ready to fly, you don't got to fly around and come back. You get to go, and instead of dropping and hitting the ground, you take off.
Let me piggyback that real quick.
I like that.
It's funny because when you say that, I'm gonna add on one thing that a lot of parents do that kind of make it even worse is not only do you get the boot at 18, but they say you better not come back either.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I
different.
mean?
In Europe, they stay at home until they get their masters, then they leave. Like
Yeah.
in France and
I'm
stuff.
sorry, what's your name again? bud?
John.
John, that's like an excellent, brilliant statement.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how much I had to get out at 17, so I know exactly what you mean, and it was rough out there. And then having kids was not helping at that age. And my son, I talked about him, 24 years old, still live at home for that very reason, because I recognize that, you know what, yeah, you're doing good and you can afford your own apartment, bro, but I need to cultivate. I need you to save your money. I need you to be ready.
Yeah.
Now I told him you got to go at 25 though, so
Mhm.
he'll be 25 in June, and
June what?
he's been ready. He's been very
June what?
June 1st.
Oh, so we got the same birthday month.
So he wanted to branch out before that because for him, I'm financially independent, no, but I got to prepare you.
Yeah.
So all of this stuff we dealing with George Floyd, all these things come up. Having him at home and sitting down and saying how you feeling,
Yeah.
and this is how you navigate this, and this is what it means, and this is how it can and cannot define you. That's important. I think your pops, man, said it best, man. Like a lot of knowing your pops makes it easy for me to realize now why you how you are, and we miss it. We missing a lot of that, man. The young men
So,
don't have that, bro.
Let me take a moment to shout out my pops real quick. All right. So, especially like when I found out I was gonna become a father, the first thing I did was I thought back to like everything my pops did for me. So, first off, my pops had like the ultimate finesse on me. I used to think he was the strongest man in the world because he would carry this power wheel down the stairs like above his head. So I'm thinking like, damn, he carrying a four-wheeler. I ain't say damn at that age, but still. I'm like, he carrying a four-wheeler above his head like it's nothing. And then I become an adult. I'm like, you know what I mean? But
That's how you saw him.
right. And I take everything that he's taught me, tried to teach me, tried to tell me, but my ass was too stubborn to listen. Tried to show me, and I've learned to cherish it. And I've just emulated it, and I've said it on multiple occasions. Through the goods, the bads, the times I was being a good son, a bad son, a shitty son. Still my favorite person in the world.
And look, I be at Casanova chilling, Cayne, hitting the beat with Cayne.
Yeah.
Loco will come over here, look at my baby. Like this man loves his kid, man.
Yeah, he does.
So that says a lot about you. And again, they gotta come from somewhere, bro.
No, because like my father, I overheard him tell somebody this like when I was a kid, and it resonated with me. I think I was like a young jit, but he was like, the moment I found out that Loco was about to be born, I'm not gonna say my name on camera, y'all.
It's probably like Tiberius or something.
Ooh, boy, we got that telepathy going on. I was like, dang.
It is now.
we
That's
hang
that's
around
his
too.
name.
I'm named after you, so it's your name too. Wow.
I
Wow.
always wanted to know what it was, man. So
We're not. Hey, we're gonna
Hold
say
on,
it
hold on,
camera,
hold on,
y'all,
hold
so that-
you good, man. You good.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like you kind of had the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I thought about
So, I done lost my. Oh yeah, but no, he said the moment that he found out that Loco was gonna be born was the moment that you got my mama. Look, you got my mama starting.
Mom gonna change your name, man.
So he said the moment that he found he was gonna become a father was the moment that life stopped being about him,
Same here.
and I did the same thing.
Yeah,
You
same
know.
here, man.
Cause like I said, everything my dad did with me. My son was like a month and a half old. The first movie he watched. And if you know me, I'm a nerd. You know what I'm gonna say? Dark Knight Rises.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. No, man.
I'll tell you the story after the show. I'll tell you the story after the show.
Y'all got me in on that. I'm
Okay,
not-
fine. Okay, Cayne want to know now. So, Fresh, tell him. You know
I
me.
don't know.
All right, Fresh. You know how I am. You see me in the comic book store. You know what I mean? So, I was at home with my son. This is back when all the movies being played on the laptop and everything. So how babies be like, you know, just looking at everything and whatnot. So I played Dark Knight Rises because I love Batman. And so it was a scene where he was about to fight Bane. And my son, it still resonates with my son to this day. But there was no music, no sound effects, no loud noise, just Batman getting his ass whooped, right? And as soon as Bane spoke, my son did this. And just started watching the show, eyes glued to the screen.
Oh wow.
And I was like, damn, already? He didn't even know what Batman is, and he already like locked in. Like he was locked in for the whole fight scene, you know. And I was like, that resonated because I feel like that's something my dad would have did when I was that age. Like he would have showed me some kind of superheroes on a TV show.
Yeah. I'm so uncultured. When you said Dark Knight Rises, I was like, what is that?
I thought it was
I thought
the one with the Joker. What was that one?
That's Dark Knight.
Dark Knight.
Well, see, I didn't even know you were talking about
didn't- yeah,
Batman.
yeah.
I was just so lost, bro.
Every employee, kids, anybody who I mentor has to watch The Matrix with me. So I get it. So like, listen, man, I have taken The Matrix and I probably should started like a dissertation just on The Matrix, bro. The truth is, that was the first movie I've ever watched that changed everything about how I think. Like everything, bro.
Mine was just
And it's written by a black woman.
Yep. Yep.
I actually didn't know that.
Yes, it did. And she won her case too.
Yep.
Oh, she won?
She
won
did.
her case?
She won her case.
Yep.
And I actually interviewed with her. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, I The Matrix was everything to me. So I sat my sons down and said, hey, let me tell you what this Matrix is, baby.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
You
But
went for
to your
red
point,
pill,
having a
blue
kid,
pill.
though, man.
Love
I hated IT. It was boring. It was hard. I wasn't interested. But man, when you have a kid and you gotta feed them, I was
Yeah.
gonna do whatever it took to learn it, bro.
Yeah, so
Do one more topic.
we're gonna do another topic because we keeping y'all there. Y'all
Yeah.
good? Y'all good out there?
Y'all,
Alright,
y'all
so-
doing the show?
So with this
Hold
this
on.
You gotta
I might-
get
I might
prepped for
have
this
to-
one.
I might have to stretch
Might
out
have
for-
stretched for this
I
one.
might have to stretch out for this
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Let's
Go ahead.
Let's put some people
Crack
off
the
of
neck
this
a
one.
little bit. So y'all heard about our favorite comedian Dave Chappelle is getting canceled.
He's
So,
not getting canceled.
They're trying to.
They gonna fail.
They gonna fail, but they trying. And this happened time and time again with this continuation of the cancel culture concept. And it's like, what do y'all think? Like, what do y'all feel about cancel culture? Should it really
So-
even be a thing? Or like,
My thing is this. First off, the word cancel culture is like one of the dumbest shits I've ever heard
Yep.
since YOLO. All right. Second off,
YOLO was kind of
no, it was not.
Okay, all right, fine. I thought it was fire,
No,
bro.
no, we're not gonna go there.
Alright.
We're not gonna. You finna make a bang
That'll
pop
be
like
a
that.
one.
camera conversation.
It's
No,
Canadian.
they took the camera off.
Canadian?
The camera still on.
YOLO's Canadian.
Oh, camera still.
YOLO
Oh
voice.
shit.
Oh man, get that devil on camera.
Metal.
Hey man.
I remember this.
Oh, for sure. Please do.
So,
Maple Leaf is tatted.
so on the cool. My thing is this: like, what's really your agenda? You know, you wanna, cause like, okay, watch this. There are racist musicians out there, right? There was one. What was his name? John Cole, David Allen Cole, something like that. Some racist white dude.
Somebody, yeah.
If I don't want to be called a N-word with a hard R, can we say that on YouTube? Can we say that?
I wouldn't try.
Stay
I wouldn't
away
try.
from
I said with a hard R.
I mean,
Stay away from it.
from it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna stay away from it. All right, cool. Crowd says so. If I don't want to listen to a song that's gonna call me the N-word with the hard R, I'm not gonna put the song on.
Mhm.
If you know that somebody is gonna say something that's gonna offend you, then don't listen to it. Don't watch it. Dave Chappelle said it best. If you're watching this at home, if you're watching this on Netflix, remember, you clicked on my face. So these people who believe in cancel culture, to me, they looking for a reason to get mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't think you can really ever truly cancel a person though. All I'm gonna do is look them up. Like if I truly like that person, you cannot stop me from consuming that person's.
Because I mean,
content.
honestly, the
Ever.
more hoot and holler that you gonna make about a person, the
You
more
hyping them
attention you're
up.
gonna get.
It's promotion.
It's like,
You know what I mean? So
you
that's how I
know,
feel about it.
not saying that I agree with the person, but like the more people had complained about Lil Nas X, the more people was looking him up.
Yeah.
And it's just like, don't get me wrong, I don't agree with the shit. A lot of the shit, 99% of the shit. But but at the same time, it's just like, if you know what's gonna happen when you click on that person's face, why watch it?
Yeah.
If you know that a movie's gonna have an uncomfortable sex scene, parents ain't gonna show that movie in front of the kids. They gonna keep it away.
Yeah.
So if you watching some shit with the intentions of, well, I'm gonna cancel that person. If you watching this because you don't like my voice and you want to cancel me, that's your fault, not mine. I said what I said.
Yeah,
You gonna make me slap this bottle.
yeah, I think it's interesting because it's a very ambiguous field because you're canceling them. It's like it's not equal across the board. Like they're canceling him for supposedly slandering the LGBT2A plus, right?
I watched the stand up.
Yeah,
All right.
it was brilliant, but it's like people don't take. Bro, he's a comedian. Come on, man. You gonna get offended? He makes fun of black people too, bro. White, he makes fun of everybody. That's why I'm like, why y'all getting so offended by Dave Chappelle?
Because
You know what I mean?
he made a very valid point. This one started pissing him off when he was talking about the rapper who I'm not gonna say no names on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
We all know who we're talking about, but when he said, so this rapper can kill somebody because he don't like him, but God forbid he makes a gay person upset.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, man. It's just, man, that's a tricky one, man, because you have said gay person who's hot in the music right now, and you look at his track record of Little, X whatever, man, he's made pedophile jokes on Twitter, like very, very rude stuff. Bro, did you research his shit? He says some stuff about his nephews and all that stuff.
You know what I researched?
What?
You know what I researched?
Yeah.
I researched shoes and video games.
But
And I
these-
researched this Broadly statue that I want. All right? I'm not gonna spend my time looking up shit that I don't care about.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I dug into it because it was relevant to the Dave Chappelle thing. They were comparing it. So,
I told you guys on the previous Nitti Gritti Podcast I
Yeah.
was on how much I despise giving kids trophies just because they was on the team,
Mm.
right? Everybody get a trophy. My son was defensive player of the year, even though he blocked one shot or steal one play. So it's the same. It's the same thing. We give everybody what they want.
yeah.
I spoke about a month ago at a conference, and a funder asked me, "Why should I fund you when I can fund this company and they do 10 times as more work, or they train 10 times more people than you?" And my response was at this conference, when you married your wife, did you choose her because she was attractive, or did you choose her because she complimented you? And everybody was offended. Now, I ain't say if she was cute, sexy. I said if she was attractive, or was she complimenting? Did you just look at one thing, or did you look at everything? And what I was trying to tell him was, you just looking at them because they attract you with how many people they train. But if you look at the people they train, none of them end up with jobs. We train less people, but the people we train get the support, the skills, and they get a job. So it's about complimenting what you say is most matters to you. But apparently, I offended a lot of people by using attraction, because now it's a male chauvinist thing. I realize how quick you could be on the other end of the cancel culture then.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a fan of it. But here's the entrepreneurial thing. I'm always thinking now, okay, how do I maximize? How do I profit on this?
See, that's
cancel
Rob
culture?
right there. That's Rob
So,
right there.
because it's not gonna go away.
Yeah.
So what I need to be able to do though is say, okay, I need to create a platform where you can come together, market, and etc. When y'all want to cancel somebody,
Yeah.
come to this, and I can advertise.
And you can subscribe for
Hey, listen,
$10.99.
Because they're not going away. So the real question is how we use it to our advantage.
Yeah.
What I love about it though is if everybody can just create this council culture, then guess what? We as black people, when we talk about the things we need in our communities, the access, the legislation, the policy, the change, the systemic racism, all of those things, listen, let's use council culture the same way to get what we want.
no.
Hey, I agree with that.
Before we close everything out, right? Because y'all know me. I'm childish sometimes. I need everybody here to pull their phones out. Everybody pull your phone out. Come on.
Yeah, y'all
Everybody
know,
put your
y'all know
phone
the
up.
protocol.
Come on. Cameraman two, pull your phone out.
Find my phone, man. Like that.
All right. I need everybody to go to YouTube right now.
Y'all know the drill.
Come on. Everybody go to YouTube.
Click on that little magnifying glass.
Click on the magnifying glass. Type in NITTI space GRITTI
If you need help, it's on the screen.
podcast. All right. Now on there, you're gonna see our page. I want y'all to click that subscribe button. All right.
If I don't see these numbers jump up to at least 40.
But overall, though, I think we should stand up and thank the crowd real quick.
Yeah, man.
We want to take the time to thank you guys for coming out and joining the Nitti Gritti Podcast. First ever live episode. Every season we will be doing this. Shout out to my boy Mello with Jacked In Podcast. Hey Jada, how you doing?
All the way.
Shout out to
Yeah,
my
bro.
parents,
Much love.
my boy Stripes, little brother back there. Shout out to all the cameramen. Shout out to Button Pusher.
DJ
DJ Gritti. We thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. You guys have a good night. Our seats. I'm hungry.
That was great. Man, that was good stuff right there.
Real good.
Hey, good shit, bro.
Real good shit.
Appreciate you coming out, man. As always, man. It's always on,
Man,
bro.
boy. Y'all happy over there?
What did you go with? I
Yeah.
Y'all too.
Yeah, bro.
Y'all went.
Hey, appreciate you,
Yes, sir.
bro.
It's a pleasure.
My pleasure, bro.
Man,
My pleasure.
What's up?
I just did these just for the day.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be it, bro.
It's a lot of blood.
So I'm gonna need that design, man. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Nah, for sure. I'm still working, working through my, trying to perfect my craft, so. Man, word is
I'm
out.
gonna say you want to call this out.
and power.
Oh, yeah.
Check
Check you out, bro. I'm trying to like, you know.
Because I mean, I'm in IT. I took C4 when I was in school. You know, we went through a lot of things.
Definitely on my
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? I
You
watch
did
all
that.
the
Yes,
videos,
sir.
I can't
Absolutely.
study, you know.
I told my uncle about you. He wants to meet you.
Just so Saturday.
I told you I got you.
Saturday. I seen he dropped the thing.
It's slipping.
Hey, and Loko got my contacts. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I definitely.
DJ, DJ.
All right, cool.
Man, y'all
So Saturday night you leaving?
No, Saturday morning.
Oh,
You ready, man?